If you've been running on autopilot, giving to everyone else, but feeling like you've lost yourself somewhere along the way, this one's for you. I want to ask you a question that changed everything for me, and maybe it will for you too. Do you feel your best? Not just are you functioning, but are you actually living in a way that feels good for you? Hi, I'm Kylie, and welcome to Flourished. This space is all about real talk, wellness, and building a life that actually feels aligned, energizing, and yours again. And today's conversation is close to my heart because it starts with one tiny check in that flipped the script for how I was living. If you've ever said, I'm fine, when you really weren't, you're not alone. Think about when you walk around the office and people say, hello, good morning, how are you? We often revert to, I'm fine. And I did it for years. I was in a demanding job. I was juggling the kids. I was in chronic pain with sciatica and all the expectations that were on my shoulders. And on the outside, it looked like I had it handled. But on the inside, I was exhausted. I was snappy. I was disconnected. And I stopped recognizing myself. And maybe that's where you are too. You're still smiling and you're still showing up. But underneath it all, you're just not feeling your best. Let's say just coping. So here's the thing that most people don't want to say out loud. Coping isn't the goal. Flourishing is. There wasn't one big breakdown moment for me. There was a build-up. I was waking up tired. I was dragging myself through the day. I wasn't like going to bed at good times. I was not getting enough sleep. I was feeling heavier physically, emotionally, all the things. And I ignored it for too long. I ignored the signals and the triggers within my body. And it wasn't until like sciatica kicked in and that chronic pain actually made it impossible for me to keep going. And so maybe for you, it's not pain. Maybe it's tiredness, fatigue, or stress, or overwhelm, or something inside you, that quiet voice inside you that says something's not right. And for too long, you can just ignore that little voice in your head, or can ignore how your body feels when you walk into a room. When it's saying something's not right, your body is trying to send you a message. So if you're nodding along, it's okay. That's not failure. That is feedback. It is feedback from your body. And for a long time, I ignored what my body was trying to tell me. So eventually, I did get the help I needed for my chronic pain, and that was the pivotal moment. Once I got the help I needed, I was able to start moving again, and that gave me the space I needed to breathe. And one of the biggest shifts came when I then looked at my health and how I was living day to day and where I am in my womanhood, the age that I'm at. I looked into and I was introduced to and I looked into intermittent fasting. So I didn't do that to to lose weight or shrink my body, but to support it for where it is in this moment. And what that did was give me time and my body and my system the time to rest and reset. And it gave me a structure, like a daily structure. It gave me clarity. It gave me energy. It gave me focus. And when results were showing up in how I felt and how I felt in my mind and in my body, it was such a good reminder that small shifts can actually change everything. And the momentum that comes from those small shifts can actually create some big impact. So, the daily moving my body and the introduction of intermittent fasting were the big piece for me to answer, am I feeling my best? And that's what I want you to take away with you today. You don't need to overhaul your whole life. You just need one shift. If you're not feeling your best, it is just one shift, one tiny step, one moment of being honest to yourself, one moment of listening to what your body is trying to tell you. It is one moment, one shift, which can lead to one step forward for you. So here's what helped me. So with the intermittent fasting, I was swapping out my automatic breakfast to move into a fast. So I was sticking to my daily habits. I was drinking water, that doesn't break a fast. I was drinking herbal tea, that doesn't break a fast. But staying hydrated was key. And getting outside and even just slowly moving my body again, getting out in nature. For so long, I was stuck and tied to either the lounge or the bed because of the pain I was in. Getting outside, the fresh air, the nature, the bird song is something that for me helps me reconnect with myself. So it was nourishing my body with the fuel and the environment and just a shift in my focus to move away from, craving where I was before to craving something that I was moving forward into. So saying yes to these small things and making them a priority for myself and knowing how it made me feel when I did these little things, it actually made me feel like me again, or I was starting to rediscover me again. And I was no longer feeling drained. I was feeling excited to get up and start my day. And so maybe your version of how you're feeling might look different. That was, my experience. But the truth is, and this is what's key, you're allowed to want to feel better. You don't need permission to change how you feel in your own life. You are in control. And so let's be honest. The question for you that you can sit here and ask yourself now is, do you feel your best? Just sit in that question. Do you feel your best? What comes to you? How does your body feel? How does your mind react? How does your body physiologically react when you ask yourself that question? And if the answer is no, that's okay. Don't rush it. Don't push it away. Don't bury it or put it under the rug. Don't think I'll deal with that another day, because it's important to sit with it. It's important to sit with your feelings, and it's important to connect to yourself. So ask yourself this then. What's one small thing I could try this week just to feel a little better? One small thing. What's missing from the way I care for myself? If I were to put myself back on the list, what would that look like? These are great questions, and they're not about perfection. This isn't about being perfect. It isn't about having a right or wrong answer. It's about reconnecting with yourself and paying attention to how you're feeling. It's about coming home to you and prioritizing yourself again in this busy, chaotic, hectic world that we all live in. So, what I wish someone had told me years and years ago, I wish someone had told me that burnout burnout doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it is hidden and you cannot see it. Sometimes it just looks like you quietly losing your spark while holding everything together. But what I also wish someone had told me is that you don't have to stay there. You can rebuild your energy, you can reconnect with yourself, you can reconnect with your confidence, and you can rediscover the version of you who feels light, alive, and present. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on this experience of life and change and personal development, all the things that you learn along the way and discover about yourself. It is becoming more and more, I guess, self-discovery and a recognition of who I am. And that is what I'm here to share with you as well. Like, pose these questions, sit in those questions, really think about how you really feel, and do you feel your best? Because we are here as beings to embrace what we have around us and to feel our best as much as we possibly can, and to help others feel that same way as well. So if you're ready, that's what I'm here to walk with you through. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, she's saying everything I've been feeling, you're not alone. um it's not an accident. If you feel alignment to what I'm saying, to what I'm sharing, to my experience, that is beautiful. That is why I'm here. This space is here. I've created this for women like you who are ready to stop surviving and step out of survival mode, step out of our fight and flight mode, and step into our flourishing mode. So if this did resonate with you, hit subscribe, drop a comment if it stirred something inside you, share with someone else who, might be quietly struggling too. It's important to note that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and there are tools, resources, products available for you to step you through the support that you may need. So share with who you feel could benefit from this, because it only takes one small action, one small yes, one small shift, one small step to move into something more aligned for yourself. So let's feel better. We're here to feel better. We're here to feel well. We're here to live well and flourish together. Thank you for listening.